In this tutorial, I'll be showing very quickly how to set up a Photoshop document for games development. So there's different things to consider, but first of all, let's click New File. So if you've never opened Photoshop before, this is probably what you'll be met with. First thing you'd want to do is, on the right here, change centimeters to pixels, and this is what we need to change here. So if you're working with, let's say, a seamless texture, typically you'd work in it's called a power of 2. So if you go with 1024, match that with the height, 1024, that's now a 1K texture. So you might be familiar with games nowadays releasing 4K textures. That would be this times 4. So 4096 would be a 4K texture. But 1K for now should be fine. Depending on your needs, you might want to increase that, but you do want it as a power of 2. So times it by 2, or times it by 4 to get 4K, that kind of thing. We also want to change this to pixels to inch, and then change this to 72. So this just means it compacts the pixels in. 300 is by default for print, 72 is for screen. So this would be nice for a seamless texture, or something that you might want as a repeating pattern, or if you're just working with a square kind of space anyway. There's certain other things that you might want to consider. So if you're doing, let's say, concept art for a level design or something like that, you might want to change this to be longer. If it's like a side-scrolling game like Mario, you'd probably have quite a long level. So to change this, if you've opened up a Photoshop document and you want to change that, all you need to do, go to Image, then Image Size or Canvas Size. Image Size will stretch this white background, but I'll just do Canvas Size as well. So it'll bring up a familiar looking thing. So here we can see, we can change the width and height again. But what we can do, if we wanted to times it by 4 or times it by 2, we can do %, and then we can change the width. So let's say I want to double the width, so I want to make it twice as long. So I just type 200, and then these anchors here, so at the current, if I do this, it'll stretch on both left and right. If I click this though, it'll stretch outwards from that point. So if I click OK, now it's stretched it. So that's how we can set up a Photoshop document to start on games development.